What's going on, guys? Got him again here, coming at you with my first ever YouTube video, which I am super pumped about. And today I'm going to be covering a pretty big topic. This is going to be a video out there for all the new players coming to the game. All 5 of you, welcome. And this is going to be just pretty much kind of an instruction manual as of what you're going to be doing from level 1 to level 85. Now, this specific guide is catered towards the SLKR rush. So if you are interested in a different rush, I would recommend you go find another video. Also, this is pretty much only going to be through level 1 through 85, meaning if you are like 2 million GP, 3 million, stuff like that, you're probably not going to learn anything. This is literally just a guide for new players, and currently this is October of 2020. Is it October? It is. It's October of 2022. Jesus. But as of right now, this is a pretty solid starting guide. It's going to set you up very, very nice for ships primarily. The strong suit of this guide is going to be ships, and also it's going to be, you know, pushing for SLKR, who's great. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. All right, so before we get into the farming guide, I'm going to address a couple things. First and foremost being that the mods in this game are a very complicated and in-depth system. And so what I'm going to do is I'll leave a link to another YouTuber who does an incredible job going over mods, and his name is Fort Mort. He has a great modding series on YouTube that describes, you know, specific character in-depth mod guides and stuff like that. And so even if it's not for the character you're looking to mod correctly, it'll at least give you, you know, it'll show you the thought process behind, you know, why characters are modded a certain way, and help you kind of develop your own kind of independent thinking. So that you can do some mod work of your own. So I'll leave a link to his channel at the end of this. Unfortunately, I think he's dead now. Drunk driving, I think he killed a family of 5. But anyway, great modding series, so I would highly recommend. I'll leave a link to his channel at the end of this. So, first and foremost. Second, although I do not have Darth Vader listed in this farm guide, just do know that he is like the Papa Stalin to all free-to-play accounts. So even though he's not listed, please don't think we're neglecting him. That is not at all what we're doing. Keep him in the back of your head always, because he's going to be the first Zeta we're going to have. He's going to be the first relic character we're going to have. He's the GOAT. So don't think that I ignored Vader. I indeed did not. Love you, Poppy. Alright, so before we get into the specific characters themselves, I'm going to give a very brief overview of the shops and talk about whether we want to be farming, you know, characters or gear and stuff like that, and like what characters to be on the lookout for when they come in to refresh, stuff like that. I'm not going to go too in depth because I'm going to talk about the specific characters here in a sec. But let's just go ahead and go over the shops real fast. So we're going to start at the Squad Arena store, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we do not want to be spending our Squad Arena currency on gear. It's going to be kind of a waste of money. We just want to get the characters themselves. Excuse me. The characters that we need, and then we're going to go for Prestige. Prestige is very, very important because that's what our capital ships need to upgrade their abilities. We don't want to spend our currency on credits. Don't want to do that. We want Prestige and our characters. So that's that. Here we can be a little bit more loose. We can spend on gear pieces we need with that extra currency. There's not too many characters we need right off the bat. I'll talk about the ones that we need in the guide. But other than that, this one's fine to spend on some gear. Gear and those couple characters that we need. So yep. Galactic War store. This store is honestly really nice. The only thing you're really gonna want to do is there's not too many characters you need in here. So just get the characters you need, get the ships you need, and the rest just literally spend your excess currency on Shard Shop currency, because Shard Shop currency is awesome. So once you get those couple characters, the few ships you need, Shard Shop currency. Boom. Fleet Arena store. Now, I'll tell you right now, avoid these two. They're very, very expensive, and they're cringe. We can farm them many other ways. So, Razor Crest. Always be on the lookout for Razor Crest. Finding a Razor Crest is like farming a whatever Pokemon is super hard to find. Like, I don't know, Charizard. I apologize. I don't know my Pokemon. So, always be on the... Anytime the Razor Crest is ever in the shop, always buy him. His drop rate is super, super, super low. Consider yourself like you won the lottery. Every time you see him in the shop, buy him. That's the first one. 2, Slave 1. Slave 1 is going to help. You get him up to 5 stars before 78. Buy him when he's there. No questions asked. TIE Advanced. Again, buy him too. Low drop rate. Kind of hard to farm. Buy him when he's there. Period. Ballin'. And then one other one. We want to farm Vader. We want to farm Vader himself anytime he's in the shop. Where's Vader? Vader. He's on here somewhere. Anyway, farm Vader in the shop. Here he is. The only other way to attain him is from achievements, so his farm can be pretty slow. So you want to make sure that you have Vader up at 7 stars, preferably by the time you get in Grand Arena. So that's how you're going to be able to do it, is by purchasing him in the Fleet Arena store. All right, and also if you have excess currency, you can talk about those too. Guild Events store. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're pretty much exclusively going to want to use this T1 currency for gear. You know, at the start of the game, you're probably not going to be in a great guild, so farming like Wampa and Hoda is probably pretty unrealistic. At 1 through 85, you're just going to want to spend this on gear, right? You're just going to want to get gear, help your account out until you can get it to the point where you can get into a better guild where you can realistically start looking for things like, you know, a Negotiator, Hoda, Wampa, maybe some individual characters, stuff like that. Shard store, we've already talked on this. Amazing store, amazing. Never shy away from farming 7-star characters to get that Shard Shop currency. All right, and then finally, Galactic War. Please do not sleep on this game mode. This game mode is clutch. It gives you so many credits. It gives you 650,000 a day. Okay, this is literally like insane. It adds up so quick. All right, please do not sleep on Galactic War, and that is why it is important to have teams to allow you to beat Galactic War. Crucial game mode. Super early on. It's going to be your primary source of credits, and also the extra crystals are nice. So, but that's pretty much it. That's all the shops. And yeah, let's just go ahead and move on into the farming guide. Alright, so the way this is going to work is I'm just going to do a quick overview of the teams that we should have rolling before we hit to Grand Arena, and then I'll actually go to the specific characters and talk about how far you should level them. And as a general rule of thumb, just know that the characters you want to gear tier 9 are going to be the pilots. Okay, the pilots, you want to make sure you're gear tier 9 first. Then you can gear tier 9 the other characters, and that even includes Lord Vader. Sorry, not Lord Vader. If you had Lord Vader, then this would be an entirely different video. No, Darth Vader. Even that also includes Darth Vader, okay? I know you want to get your Darth Vader up, but slow down, okay? I promise you it'll be okay. Alright, let's start off with the overview. So these are the teams that we're going to have first, okay? This is our first order, as I call it. Rebel Fighters, we're going to have them going. This will be our early credit heist team. This should, you know, whatever characters that we have in here that we have big enough to do the credit heist event, this will be our first, you know, just so we can clear the event. We want those credits. Those credits are the elixir of life. They're amazing. So yes, credit heist event, super important. This is our, excuse me, other first order team. This is our Empire team, which, keep in mind, Royal Guard you will have a ton of shards for. I have never farmed his node a day in my life, and he's almost at 7 stars. Bronzium packs, OP. Open your Bronzium packs. Bronzium packs are the way of the future. Make Empire great again. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the teams here. So we have the Empire team, then we have our Bounty Hunters. That's pretty much it. Super simple stuff. There are other characters here and there, but we'll talk about those. And first off, let's just go ahead and start off with Geo Soldier at the very beginning. So all I'm going to do is just run through the line, talk about levels. That's pretty much it. Gear tier, like I said, 8 lower. All right. Geo Soldier, 1 through 35. This guy is just... That's it. 1 through 35. You're just... Once you hit 35, move on. That's it. He's a good pilot. His ship is super attainable. Cool. Foss, 5 stars. I did what I call the Foss effect. I brought him a 7. Horrible investment. I totally regret my time. It was a painful farm. His nodes suck. There's nothing good on them. The only thing that's nice is that there's 2, so you can knock them out faster. There was no reason for me to do this, so don't do what I did. Put him at 5. IG-11, these 3, just farm them early on. Do you want to prioritize these 3 once you have the option to farm them? But until you can farm those 3, farm these 3 instead. And then if you have any extra energy left after farming those 3, spend them here again. So I'm not going to say a cap as to how far you should invest them, but you want them to be at least 5. Again, 5 stars is kind of like the minimal you want them to be at for Grand Arena, unless I say otherwise. Like, for example, Mon Mothma, you don't need her up that high. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So these stars, it'd be good to have them at 5. But obviously early on, you get the point. You get the point. So, Fu, you want to bring him up to 5. Okay, bring him up to 5 first. Then switch. Unlock your POW. Then, after you unlock your POW, come back, finish Officer. Then, once you finish Officer, then get POW up to like 4. 3 or 4. Wherever you want him. If you think he's effective at 3, go for it. If you need him to be a little more survivable, bring him up to 4. I like him at 4. Akbar, 7. This is going to be your capital ship pilot. You're going to use Home 1 until you have Bomber. Bomber has much better synergy with TIE Fighter and Executrix. So, and Executrix is what we're going to need to unlock Zetas. So, it's very important we use Executrix, but until then, we're going to use Akbar in our Fleet Arena. So from level 60 to level 78, or level 70, whenever you get your Bomber. That'll be when you'll use Akbar. So we want to get him up to 7 first. No levels, no gear. Gear tier 1, level 1, just character unlock 7, I guess. I don't know how they would say it, but you get what I'm talking about. Phasma, 7. Reason being is just because if you're in a guild, and your guild is doing a raid where there's a 7-star requirement for characters, she's super easily attainable. It doesn't hurt to go for 7. So, and also you want to make sure you can participate in raids. So, 7. First Order Special Forces, he's a little unique. He's in the guild store, which is kind of a strange store. You're going to want to bring him to 7. You're going to want his ship. You're going to farm him and his ship. And pretty much the only other character you'll really farm in here for now will be Kylo. You can pick up Kylo with any extra guild store currency. The rest you're probably just going to want to invest into gear. Truth be told, you could probably leave your Special Forces TIE Pilot at like 6 if you wanted. But I'd do either 6 or 7. It's kind of up to you, however you feel like you need them. Just know eventually you're going to need them to be 7 stars anyway for SLKR. I just brought him to 7, but you know, you get the point. Kylo Ren Unmasked. Now, this character has one of the best nodes in the game. Okay, he has his ship and himself on the same node, and his ship and himself are both very good characters. So you are going to want to farm this all the way up until Silencer gets level 7. Or 7, character unlock 7, whatever you want to call it. Ship unlock, yeah. And the reason being is because ships in this game are a pain in the tuchus, alright? Yes, they are a pain in the tuchus. They are all ships are only single drop rates that you can farm with energy. None of them are double drop rates, which is AIDS. Okay, it is actual AIDS. Clinical, terminal AIDS. So, we're trying to ease the burden on ships a bit. By going SLKR, SLKR has an incredible fleet, and this is part of that fleet. So, even when Kylo Ren Unmasked gets level 7, it's 7-star, whatever the heck we're going to call it, okay. We're just going to keep farming this node, getting Slicer, and at the very least, this gives us Shard Shop currency. Shard Shop currency is OP. It is OP! Do not underestimate this currency. It is your primary source of gear early on. Throughout most of the game, heck, throughout most of the game. Shard Shop currency, never be afraid to farm characters that are already 7 stars. That Shard Shop currency is absolutely phenomenal. Alright. So once you get, and I promise you, you'll be on this node for a while. I think I didn't get Slicer up to levels, or unlock 7, whatever. Up until I was like 75 or 6 or something like that. It was for a long time. Mon Mothma, 3 or 4. 3 or 4. Don't need her at 5. The only reason why I have her at 5 was because she was the calendar character. Cara Dune, 5. You're going to bring Cara to 5 because you want to use her to unlock Palpatine. Excuse me. She just makes the Palpatine unlock event super easy. She directly counters Empire. And she's going to be effective at 5 stars throughout everything, through Galactic War, through Grand Arena. She does her job at 5 stars. Bring her to 5 stars for now so you can switch off to other characters and make sure you get those rolling, because she's going to be very effective at 5 stars, so therefore 5 stars. Queel, this one's kind of, on the fence, because the truth is that you want to unlock Bomber. In this guide, we are not going big Starfighter. It is important to know we are not going Biggs. Biggs is a very commonly bought early game tank because he's super cheap, but at the same time, We don't want him, even though he would fit in this Rebel Fighters team, we still do not want him because he sucks, okay? His character is trash. So we don't want his character, but his ship is okay. So I understand if you want him for the ship, but I propose a better alternative to a ship, which is the Imperial TIE Bomber. This bomber synergizes much better with the rest of our fleet. And also, we need Queel for BAM, which we're already going the rest of the team, so he fits in perfect. So yeah, highly recommend going for Bomber instead of Biggs. I don't recommend going Biggs in this guide. I think Biggs is trash. Moving on. We already talked about POW, low stars, low investment, high return. Then we're going to go Tarkin after Akbar. We want to bring him up to 7. We're going to need him for 7. He'll do his job, but you don't even need to bring him up to 70. You can do very little investment on Tarkin. You're not going to use him in Grand Arena. He's just there as a pilot for the ship, the Executrix. Now, this one's a little spicy, and I'll tell you why we did this. We need 7-star Rebels to unlock Palpatine, right? Well, Zeb is dirt cheap. He's in the Galactic War Store. Easiest currency to obtain. And all we're going to do is that we're going to leave him at level 1. We're going to leave him at gear tier 1. We're going to use Zeb. We're going to use Akbar. We're going to keep them both at gear tier and level 1 to beat the Palpatine event. We're also going to bring Kara up to 7 stars eventually to get there. I'll explain that in a little bit. Sorry, 1 second. Alright, moving on. So, we talked about those. Okay, now we get into the luxury characters. We're going to have Kyle Katarn and Mara Jade. Kyle Katarn is someone who I recommend actually dropping the crew farm for and actually picking up Kyle Katarn. You only need 25 shards to unlock him, and he is a double drop, so it shouldn't take you long to get him, but he's going to be very, very effective while at low stars. So he is also very similar to Mara Jade, which we'll now talk about. She's kind of does the same thing. Kyle Katarn applies the buffs, Mara Jade applies the debuffs. So, Mara Jade is to the Empire what Kyle Katarn is to the Rebel Fighters team, in my opinion. So I recommend just unlocking Mara Jade. She's going to be a huge asset to your roster. Huge asset. All you need is Vader, Palpatine, and Mara Jade. That's it. You probably could just do Mara Jade and Palpatine, honestly. So, you're going to want those 3 for sure, but you're going to want Mara Jade. She's a single drop character. She'll take you a little longer, but it's definitely, definitely worth it. Now, we move on to this one. Hux is on the same note as Hoth Rebel Scout, 5 stars. That's all we really need him to be effective on, is 5 stars. Once we get the Scout to 5 stars, then we can also use him, along with Kara at 5 stars, to unlock Palpatine. Scout also directly counters Empire, so it just works. It just works. Sith Trooper, we're going to bring him up to 5 to be effective for Grand Arena. After we get all our teams for Grand Arena rolling, I recommend returning to Sith Trooper, 7-starring, and gearing him up. This character is all the damage for First Order. All the damage. So the higher he's going to be, the better. Now, TIE Fighter Pilot. This is a character I recommend bringing up to 6. 5, he's a bit too squishy. You're going to want him at gear tier 9 and probably at 6 stars minimum because his ship is pretty squishy. It relies on dodges. So you want to put the minimal investment. You don't want to bring him all the way up to 7. It'll take a long time. But the way I did it is that I recommend bringing him up to gear tier 5. I'm sorry, not gear tier, level character unlock 5, just through Cantina. You're going to get him for free at 3 stars anyway through the event that you do earlier on the Empire event. But bring him up to 5 with Cantina, and then just farm him in the fleet currency store. That's my suggestion. It just saved me some Cantina energy so that I can farm other key characters. And yeah, just 6 stars, he'll be fine. His ships, like I said, he dodges a lot, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about with him. So yeah. Pretty much it. 6 stars. First Order TIE Pilot. I think about 5 stars. 5 stars pretty much ought to do the trick. You don't really bring in First Order TIE Pilot too often as your reinforcement. You bring in Slave 1 first, and then afterwards, and yeah, so I mean, 6 stars is preferable. He's also has a very common drop rate in the arena store. So yeah, I mean, I'd say 5, 6 stars. Either one of those two. I wouldn't do 7, but 5 or 6 he'll be fine. Boba Fett, bring him up to 7. You're going to want him in 7. He's a shop character, easy to bring to 7. And Slave 1 Pilot. Slave 1 is a amazing ship. You're going to want to farm the crap out of that. You want to make sure that's 5 stars before you get to level 78. Meaning, you will probably have to crystal refresh because I started farming Slave 1 every day when I unlocked him. And I did not have him. See, look, you can take a look. I'm level 78, and I was not able to do the event. I have all my other ships at 5 stars except for Slave 1. So don't make my mistake that I made. Once you unlock Slave 1, crystal refresh him every day and make sure you are able to get him up to 5 stars. Because I'll tell you right now, these ships, you will... I was very aggressive, I'm sorry. Let me draw back a bit. Let me tell you this as a friend. You are going to have this ship ready to go. This ship's going to be ready to go. They're very, very easy to farm in the Galactic War store. Galactic War, 1, 2, 3. All 3 of these you'll find in the Galactic War store. Super, super, super easy. That's 3 of the requirements done. 4, because we're already farming the Slicer node. 5, because we already are farming Special Forces in the Guild store. And then, last but not least, 6. That fat bastard right there. So make sure he's up at 5. You want that. Trust me. So, yeah, Boba, 7. Undoubtedly. Super easy farm. Don't even worry about it. 7 stars. Call it a day. Cad Bane. This one. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. A Galactic War store. You don't have the Xandu blood for a while, so you don't necessarily even have to level him up until, like, you know, a long time, honestly, because we already have 5 bounty hunters. So, you know, he's just kind of there. Honestly, I'd say you should probably spend the Galactic War Store currency on Shard Shop currency instead, which just all you have to do in order to obtain Shard Shop currency, in case you didn't know, which I'm sure all of you do, but, you know, just in case. All you do is just find a 7-star character. This was the worst way I could have gone about that. So all you do is just find a 7-star character and just... Well, oh, that's why it didn't work. Okay, so just take a 7-star character and just buy this. And then it'll automatically transition into Shard Shop currency. So, that's it. So I'd honestly recommend, instead of putting your points into Cad Bane immediately, you are going to want him. But, again, you don't need him for a hot minute. So he's there just because it's a reminder you need him. But at the same time, Shard Shop currency is probably more valuable than leveling him at the moment. Mace Windu, obviously, until you get Xandu Blood running. Mace Windu. This one, he's gonna be your pilot. He's gonna be your pilot for endurance. You can use him to unlock Yoda with Jedi and stuff like that. You're just gonna bring him to 7, no problem. Call it a day. Easy farm. Kylo. So after we got our other ships, yeah, we had to make sure we got the pilots out of the way, like Crew, TIE Pilot, and then Kyle Katarn, obviously, because he's a dope character and makes the Rebel Fighters team actually good, unlike Biggs. Now we can actually focus on ground characters and the other First Order characters that we need to get the First Order team running. That being Kylo Ren. You want to bring him up to 7. Why do you want to bring him up to 7? He actually has some solo potential. The more dots and other negative effects that he has like that, the more damage he actually does. So having him at 7, just so that he can survive all those debuffs and everything like that, is going to be a huge help. So having him at 7, highly recommend. He's a gamer. Go for it. 7 stars. Grief, Mando, and Django. I don't know why I said all of them. I haven't done that at all, this guide, but here we go. Grief. Bring him up to 5. Call it a day. No problem. You're done. Mando, bring him up to 5. Again, call it a day. You're done. Anything more than that is, obviously, you're going to need them at 7 for the BAM event. But, I mean, for the first Grand Arena, keep in mind, this is for the first Grand Arena. So, obviously, you're like, why am I not going to bring him to 7? You are going to want to do that, but this is just to ensure that you have all your teams ready for your first Grand Arena. That's why I'm saying 5 stars. After your first Grand Arena, do what you want, bro. Take this. I recommend maxing out the characters that we have, and, well, not maxing out, you know what I mean, like maxing out their levels, stuff like that. Honestly, yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. But this is what you should be doing up to your first Grand Arena. This is just to ensure that you have the teams up and going. Django. This is not a 5-star character. We are going to make sure we farm the crap out of Django. Why? Because, may I introduce you to the best node in the game? He has Houndstooth on his node. Crazy. The ship is the best ship in the game, undoubtedly. Farm this node. Simple as that. Period. Django fed us 7 stars. Who cares? Just keep going. Alright. Fourth shot. Now we actually get into our CLS requirements here. So after Boba, we're going to go hard onto Han Solo. Han Solo makes me hard as... sorry about... oh, I don't know if you guys actually heard that censor or not, but I made a censor clip. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Han Solo. So we're going to farm up our CLS requirement here. We have Leia at 7 after we go for Mace Windu. And then Han Solo. We're going to bring him up all the way up to 7 too. just to get those requirements out of the way. And yeah, pretty much it. We love CLS, so that'll be our next project after we have all these teams for Grand Arena. Now, Fox is a bit of an exception because his whole gimmick is that he scales off of health. So the more health Fox has, the harder he hits. What does that mean? It means we're going to want to bring him up to 7 stars because that will increase his health. More health, more damage. 7 stars. Bosk. Farm him till the sun explodes. Get him up to 7. Best bounty hunter in the game. Best pilot in the game because he has the Hound's Tooth. End of discussion. Baller. Darth Scion. You're going to want to farm this guy a lot. You're probably... I mean, because he has the... the reason he's here is because he has the Kylo Ren's command shuttle on his node. So... probably just want to farm it until you, like, unlock it or first, you know. Unlock it first if you have a ton of energy left over. Keep going on it, but, you want to make sure you unlock the command shuttle. It's a huge asset to your First Order fleet. Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker, these are our other CLS requirements. Like I said, we're pushing for CLS after we have these 5 teams engaged. In fact, I'm going to add this right now. We're going to add the CLS team because yes, that is why. So, it is going to be CLS, which we're going to farm for with our boys. We're going to go for 3PO and Chewie. We're going to have to farm him. And Chewbacca we're going to have because we have our bounty hunters. And Han Solo we're going to have because of raids. And then we're unfortunately going to have to, at the beginning, use our... Where the heck is that bastard? There he is. R2-D2. We're going to use R2-D2. And then this is going to be, who is he? CLS. Yes, CLS. Alright. And that's pretty much it. After this, this will be our 6th team. 3PO and Chewie is really the only one we need to farm, like, character shards for, because, like I said, we'll have. And the way you get this, because if you pay attention, we only have these characters, and we're not bringing Marjade up. Like I said, Royal Guard. That'll be your 7th, you know, that'll be your 5th, 7th star character to get our R2-D2. So that's pretty much it. This is the guide to CLS, the road to CLS, pretty much, is the gist of this. It'll be your SLKR requirements with a few extra additions, and then CLS. So boom, there we go. Really super solid starting lineup. This pretty much the biggest thing this does for our account is it lines up our ships to be ballin'. This will give us Bomber, TIE Advanced, and Imperial TIE Fighter. So we'll have like a full like Executrix lineup, and we'll have a First Order lineup and Slicer, TIE Fighter, Special Forces, and then we'll get, you know, Command Shuttle and stuff like that. So, like, you know, we actually have, like, kind of almost have 2 fleets. So, it's very, very nice. But, otherwise, that's pretty much going to sum it up. That's going to be your level 1 through level 85. Little instruction manual there. And, yeah, it's just to make your life easier. So, after that point, have fun. I'm not there. I just, you know, I don't know what that is. Have fun. I'm not there yet, obviously. I'm still level 78. So, I'm not going to recommend advice to you that I haven't yet fully experienced myself. I'm not going to tell you which Revan to go for or anything like that. I tell you right now that you're going to want CLS. CLS is an amazing team, and they're going to be a team that you're going to have access to. Like I said, the only character who you really need to farm and unlock is 3PO and Chewie. Everyone else you literally already have. Obviously, you're going to need to build Ewoks to go 3PO, but that's, you know, that's up to you if you want to do that and stuff from there. But that's pretty much it. So I think this is a super, super solid start to your guide, or start to your journey. And, you know, from there's a lot of options. The world is your oyster. And just, you know, experience the game for what it's worth. And remember to check out Fort Ward's channel for mod advice. He has incredible mod advice. Modding is so important in this game. I started off with having such little knowledge, but make sure you check out his mod series. It's an incredible, incredible tool. It has a lot of information, but... otherwise, guys, that's going to be it for me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my first ever YouTube video. I hope this is helpful to you guys if you are just starting out the game. Like I said, I'm very happy with where I'm at in my account, but at the same time, God, there was a few things I wish differently. Mainly one being the Slave 1. The fact that I couldn't start farming Zetas right at 78 really grinded my gears, because I've watched it go it's gone by 2 times now that I've missed farming Zetas, and I've cried both times. I'll undoubtedly cry the next time it passes through. But that's not the point. The point is, thank you guys for watching. I stream every night at 12 a.m. Eastern on Twitch. I hope I can catch you guys over there. My name is twitch.tv/got him again. That's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you over my Twitch. I'm not sure when I'll post another YouTube video. Don't know what to make it about, but we'll see. We'll see, if depending on how this one does. But hopefully this was a help to you guys. Thank you again for watching, and take care. Catch you later. Bye.